An American has taken on Tinubu and Shetima. Here is what he tweeted. He said, a drug baron president and vice president tied to Boko Haram, running a country complicit in genocide, telling your own story. More like theater of the absurd. This is coming after Bwala Dane tweeted saying, we are telling our own story. You know that Bwala Dane has been going to so many media houses telling them that there's no genocide. And later he tweeted and said, we are also telling our own story that there's no genocide. And guess what? This American lobbyist took on Bwala Dane, calling out Tinubu and Shetima, saying, a drug baron president and vice president tied to Boko Haram, running a country complicit in genocide. You can also see how this headline here captured it. It says, drug baron president and Boko Haram vice president running a country complicit in Christian genocide. U.S. Gerasolis tackles Bwala. That was after Bwala tweeted. This guy went, as in he lost his break and now was saying that Nigeria is being run by a drug baron and a Boko Haram linked vice president. So guys, this is coming after Reverend Ezekiel Dachoma was on News Central television station where he granted an interview sharing his experiences, how they've been burying so many Christians in the Middle Belt. Also, the guy who came out recently revealing how the Nigerian, the Northerners are trying to Islamize the country and posted a video that went viral. He has come out to say he's receiving so many threats. And because his life is being threatened, that he has gone to delete the video. But guess what? Nigerians are bashing out at him that this is why Christianity is being subdued. Why will he delete it? Even though the video has already gone viral and many people have already saved it and downloaded it. So guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at all these videos. Take your time, watch these videos, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Now take a look.
Well, I will tell you clearly, it is true. It is true because we are victims of this crisis. In 2001, specifically, when crisis started in, let me use Plateau State, about 50 people were in Kokin Church worshiping God in Yelwa town of Shendam local government in Plateau State, when the Islamic terrorists attacked them, closed the door, and burnt all of them, about 50 of them. You can go and do that research, it's there. Now, if it wasn't Christian genocide, why were they targeting church alone? After that, crisis busted out again, and they slaughtered a lot of people. My uncle was literally slaughtered in front of his house in the same Yelwa, Shendam. In fact, it took the military to intervene, to quell the issue. And then our houses in Yelwa, in the village, because I'm from Shendam local government, our houses, 3 of our houses were burnt by these Islamic terrorists. So it was not targeted at Muslims. Muslims were not killed. It was later on some of the indigents stood up to try to retaliate, and the military intercepted. Now, apart from that, I remember the crisis also in Jos, and how Christians were being killed. So the issue of Christian genocide is true, because I've been in the know of everything that was going on. In fact, I don't want to talk much, but there was a Muslim guy that we one time led to Christ. His son was an imam. Sorry, the father is an imam. And he told us that the mosque that was built in Jos has 5 gates. And the 5 gates there means dominion. And we're going to start seeing crisis. In that same year, a lot of crisis busted out, and there were killings of many Christians from different places. So I can tell you clearly, it's Christian genocide. I know there are many terrorist issues in the country. There are issues of banditry that must be separated from the Islamic extremists and terrorists. There are issues of banditry, which leads to kidnapping, that on both Christians and Muslims are being kidnapped. So it's different. But when we talk about Christian genocide, it is true because it has been happening. And so that's my stand. Invasion, but I believe it's an interception. It is help that is coming, because lives are being slaughtered. To me, Nigerian government does not value lives. Human lives are sacred, whether Muslims or Christians. Human lives are sacred to God. So no religious sect should wake up and want to eliminate a particular religious sect because they want to dominate the land and they want to be prominent in government or control the nation. It is an error. It is not acceptable to anybody that thinks well, whether Muslims or Christians. The truth is that it's an error. So we support the coming of the US to intercept, because the government is failing. They slaughter people in hundreds and nobody does anything. We have a very strong military in Nigeria. We have good armed forces. But because of the manipulations going on through politics and other things, people that are involved, top government officials that are involved for personal gain, they will not be able to quell it. Not because the Nigerian forces cannot handle this. Is a minor case, very minor. If they really want to cop this issue, they will cop it. But because nothing is being done, we need an intervention from the United States and other international security forces. That's just why we need them. So we can't continue to have lives being slaughtered at some people's selfish reasons. We can't continue to have that.
And do you think there will not be any kind of backslash?
Well, I believe that will definitely happen, because such things cannot happen without backlash. You understand? Some people will try to quell it, they will try to resist it, and all of that.
So are we ready for it?
We are ready. Because, you see, when there's going to be a massive change, we must be ready to bear the consequences. At the end of the day, everything will calm down. But this has to be tackled, and this is the best time. This thing has been going on for years. A lot of people have been slaughtered. It has to stop. And since we don't want to stop it, we need international, intervention. So I support Donald Trump in intervening in the case of Nigeria.
Your name was it?
Prophet John Andreas.
Good morning. I have received a lot of concerns from people, both from family members and acquaintances, ever since I dropped the video I dropped about the state of insecurity in Nigeria and how it has been persistent for decades. And many have threatened, many have threatened, many have encouraged, many have threatened. But most importantly is the concern I received from my family members and people that I hold in high regards. My elder brother, who is the most senior for me at this time. I have no father, I have no mother. I is the most senior in our family, and he called me last night expressing his concern about how dangerous what I've done is, speaking like that, and that people, they will kill me and all that, and that my life is in danger. And every one of my siblings are really distressed about this. Also, senior colleagues in ministry, people that I hold in high regards, men of God that I love and respect very much, have called to say, please just delete it. Just delete it, and so that everything, just delete it. But I asked them one question. I asked them, I said, did what I said happen? Did it happen or not? They said, we know it happened. The point is that people here, they will kill you, they will arrest you, they will jail you, they will do what, they'll find a way to silence you. To prevent that, just delete it. And, they were very concerned. While I went to bed this morning at my own time of prayer, while I was fellowshipping with the Holy Spirit, and I was talking to God about this. This is a great concern. I've received several threats. People have said a lot of nonsense. And the Lord told me, said, I should delete it. The reason I should delete it is not because of it didn't happen. The reason I should delete it is simply because to honor the people that have called me to speak to me about it. To say, please just delete it. To honor my elder brother, that is the most eldest for me now in my house. To say, please just delete it. And to the men of God in ministry that, I'm a man in ministry. It means I'm a man in authority, or a man of authority. There are people that we hold in high esteem. And when they say do this, in honor to them, in love to them, it is good you do it. And that is what I've done. And so I deleted it. And the Lord said, your message has been passed across. Your message has been sent. It cannot be denied. No, your message has been sent. People are aware now. And all that. You see,
I've become a Muslim. But our forefathers blocked him from flowing into the south. The heat that the west, southwest, southeast, south, that they are supposed to receive, we are the ones that are receiving it at the middle bed. We stop that heat by standing on our faith in Christ. We refuse to submit our soul to Islam. That is why in one night, look at it, 501 people were killed completely in one night. I was there in the morning after the insurgent left. Come and see blood everywhere. In the process of carrying dead corpse from every house, from some on the route, some on the field, some in the gutter. Depends on where they met you. They slaughtered you. A woman gave me a testimony that day. It was God in tears that saved her. When they came, there's a Pharaoh, because it was during the moonlight that very day. When they came, chanting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, entering this village. She saw one of the insurgents after he has beheaded the head, blood of a Christian victim. He licked the blood. She was watching him, shivering. With her child, she covered his mouth. This is a religion that chant Allah Akbar, calling people for worship. And the same religion, they shout Allah Akbar, calling people to come and kill.
Okay, but Reverend, are we now saying that all of the 500 plus persons that were killed that night are Christians?
All of them are Christian.
Because I want us to look at some national data here. In 2024, Human Angle Media reported nearly 9,600 deaths nationwide, and it estimated roughly 60% of the deaths were Muslim and 40% were Christian victims. And this was driven largely by farmer-herder clashes, terrorism, and communal retaliation. So when we see figures like this, does this now challenge the position that the killings are religiously motivated, especially against the Christians?
Let me tell you something about these statistics. They say 60% Muslim. Killed by who? By Muslims. Based on different faith of sects. And do you know why this thing? It is the blood of the Christian that is fighting Islam. Those that have been killed. You see, when they came in, the factuals in Borno, they follow villages. On Sunday, they will enter a village and meet people worshiping on Sunday. And they will separate the male from the female. And all the male in the local area, like Gwaza area, Madagali, these are in the North Borno area. And this is what is happening. Do you know something? They will slaughter all the male. Those that will survive in that church, they may have not come to church and they were able to escape death. And the women, they will select the one that they needed. They will rape them. They will do what they want. And this is one, they will leave the children at the mercy. Many of the Christian women relocated to Middle Belt. And their land was seized. Their crops was vandalized. And even as I'm talking now, let the Nigerian government prove me wrong. Let them go to Ngoshe mountain around Gwaza. It has been occupied by Boko Haram. You can't climb that mountain. They declared it as their headquarters, a colony. And it is from there that they used to come down to come and kill. Now in all the village, after sending the Christian away, the Christian relocate. If you see Christian, it's in the urban area where there is security. Maybe inside Maiduguri, you find Christian. I've been there. And most of them, if you are to interview them, fact-finding, you will discover they run for refuge into the city. At least that's where they are getting covered. Rural areas of Borno, hardly you will find a Christian. The same thing in Katsina, the same thing in Zamfara, the same thing in Kanu. If you are there as a Christian, you ought to be allegiant to them to control your life. So after they are left, now the machinery, the insurgent that they have brought, then the issue of faith came in. What happened? They started hitting. The Fulani were hitting the houses, killing them in the mosques, killing them in everywhere. They know this is factual statement because I've been there. I preach on television of Zamfara. I preach on Katsina. Even the day that I was in Gusau, that day, Matawale village, the president, his village was attacked. We are busy praying for them. Those that were able to escape, the Boko Haram entered that village of Matawale. And this is where Muslims are killing Muslims, the Izalas are killing other faith because of their indifferences. It is the blood of innocent Christians that is fighting them that were killed.
Okay, I want us to talk about the attacks, in the alleged attacks in churches.
Yes.
Right. So you've shared harrowing accounts of your grandmother's heart being removed, and you also talked about your uncle's tongue being cut off.
Yes.
You also mentioned your best friend's wife and her kids, her 5 kids. You even said that she was, backing one of them. Now, recently, we saw that the pastor of Flaming Fire's ministry, Simon Back, was killed, but then he was killed in the farm. So all of these attacks, were they carried out in churches, or were most of them carried out in churches or in different regions?
In different regions. Some on the farm, some outside on the way from the market going home. There will be ambush, and hardly you will hear that. And let me tell you something. They say farmer is a slogan of Islamic movement to deceive the world. That is farmers clashing. We have that even before the colonial, after the independence. We have that. We settle differences. Once Hardo or a Fulani man discover that his children have destroyed fire, before you wake up, he will be there at your doorstep. After worshiping, doing his salah, he will come and wait and say, please, yesterday my children came. That's how we are living peacefully. Because of that, we sympathize with them. We say, it's okay. But the present set that I know, they are really troublemakers. And this is what is happening today, my sister. They butchered us. Even in the market, they can enter with AK-47 sporadically. And this is where they came to my village, BA. It's in Liom local government. That's Liom district. BA, this is where I grown up. And the Fulani knows that that is my village. They invented chanting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, sporadic shooting all over the village from different angles. And this is the sound of their ghosts. I don't know whether it comes from, is it Iraq or Iran or anything. You hear kukum, 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 kukum. This is the sound of the terrorists in Islam. And when they enter the village, and this is what happened. They move after that night. Those that were able to escape helter-skelter, they were able to go and hide. Then they burned the villages. I was called. I have to take a journalist to that village the following morning, because I wanted to go down there. They said, no, don't come this night. They can do something for you. I was crying. I couldn't sleep. My wife is here with me. She know I was restless in Bukuru that time. Until when it was in the morning, I was able to move. Come and see children that came out from the bush, and they were in trauma. Women that hid themselves. I went reluctantly into the village. The youths that escaped, they gathered themselves and come back into the village. They were following me into the house. What will I see? I was able to see my grandmother that I grown up with in Gomata. And the youths were challenging me that they want us to bring something for their self-defense. And we didn't do anything. And look at it here. When I saw her corpse, the youths are the one that opened her chest for me. And I saw a broken knife. There was no heart. They asked me, would they remove that knife? I said, no, leave it there. Let that knife become a weakness for us when eternity comes. Wherever they are, they will not escape judgment. Then they say, I should follow them again. Behind the yard, here is my uncle's corpse called Dangai. His tongue was removed. I asked the youth, they asked me, what will I do? That day, I was surprised to see the governor, Governor Jonah Jang. I had serene. He came to the village, and you have to cross 2 rivers. He came. and we do the burial. 13 people were killed. The monument is there. We didn't build it, but by God's grace, we'll build it. They took me to my childhood friend. We grown up. Dialogue, gang. What will I see? I went into his house. I saw his wife, 4 children. They are on the other side struggling. And the woman, there's nothing she can do. The fire just came down and burned them all. The woman quickly pulled her child at the back, seeking for the way to escape. I discovered they locked the door so that none of them would come out. That is how we buried her with her child at the back. The agony of Christian in Nigeria.
So I want to find out, all of these attacks that you have mentioned, they're quite harrowing, and I'm sorry about your grandmother and your uncle. Have there been instances where you heard about Muslims also being attacked in a similar manner?
Let me tell you, no Christian attack Muslims. If you see a Muslim dead, where did he die? It is in our village.
So you're saying the Muslims also attacked other Muslims?
I'm talking about when you see another attack, Muslims are saying they are killed, we killed them. Ask them, where did we kill them? In self-defense in the village, casualties came. In our village, they loot the village. Look at this village. Look at this material. These are all the houses that they burned. Look at the number of people, number of houses destroyed, 120 in one village. Total number of dead, because God was able, and this is Christmas Eve, one person. But the other village, you can see me at their gravesite burying people at that place. But this village, disease, and this is the person that died, Mr. Tambaya. Total number of displaced people in that one village that they burned, including the church building. These are factuals that are here. In that process, some of the Muslim fought casualties. And there's one thing, the Fulani always come with extra people that in case, in self-defense, the four casualties, they drag their corpse. They know I'm saying the truth. They know, you are listening to me. They drag their corpse to their ruga. And they will go on videotape and say, we killed them. Where? We have never moved to ruga where they are settling. But I'm asking God, God, if it is your will, give us just one day to visit ruga. Then they will know what stuff Christians are made of. But we have been exercising patience based on our faith in Christ. Jesus said, love your enemy. If they are hungry, feed them. If they are sheltered, give them shelter. And we all did that. We give them place to sit down and rear their cattle. Even when we make harvest, we allow them to enter and eat the remaining crops that we left over. With full of love. Look at another village again that I went. It was dangerous. Oh God, help me. This is where Reverend was killed. And look at the houses. They were burned down. And I thank God the chief of defense staff came. This is NTV community. They came, Nigerian government came. The present chief of defense staff, Junior Matawali, he came. That day I knelt down, I begged them, let them help us. Why is it that it's only the Muslim always come to our domain and attack us?
Okay, so you have mentioned that, in your statement now, you've mentioned that the governor of Plateau State came to one of the villages when it was attacked. You also mentioned that the chief of defense staff came. So that means that it has reached their ears. Has there been any follow-up since then regarding this? And what was the response?
Do you know that minister of, I don't get her name, that minister of humanitarian that was removed by present government? Because that woman was able to mobilize and bring materials as directed by the president. When she brought, I don't know what happened. After what she has done, there's a gimmick. Controlled by Islamic agenda in Asorok. I don't know what happened. Just to hear that woman was removed. Maybe she has a shortcoming. But I know her shortcoming cannot be compared with Muslims that are working with Tinubu destruction of this nation, so but they are not removed. If
you're referring to Dr. Betta Edu, is that it?
Yeah, that woman, I didn't get her name. That woman really helped. So I look at it, they say, Kai, this woman helped these people. In fact, she's going to cause harm for Islam in the north. They maneuver the way they remove her. You see, any person in Jos, when Darie, my governor, Joshua Darie, hear very well, they have been killing us in mass from village to village. And do you know what happened? When he saw in one of the village that this machinery that were hired, many of them, our youth killed them in our territory. So the former general secretary of Miyeti Allah, Saleh Bayari, he packed the corpse to the government house. I imagine that day, the governor Darie said, you people have been killing Christians. I didn't say anything because my hand. Now you brought the corpse, what do you want me to do? The Christians have never packed their corpse to bring to me. It's an offense to Islamic war. Since from that day, they started attacking this man because they want him to use all machineries to kill the Muslims. But he refused.
Okay, very quickly, I want us to go back to the removal of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs that you mentioned.
Yes.
Did she at any point offer support outrightly to the community?
No, yes, she did. She brought trailer of rice. She brought mattresses. She sent representative to Broad.
So are you now saying that you think her removal was attributed to that?
Let me tell you, at the shadow. But they know best. But one thing that I know, with what she has done for us, these people, when they kill us, they don't want the governor to come in. You see, when the governor stood, they forced their way to Obasanjo, and he declared state of emergency. Daria was removed. And I thank God that day, after 6 months, they still stood with enforcement that Daria should never come back. God chose me single-handedly at TCN, and I spoke. My brothers, after they have deliberated who is who in Plateau, they said Daria should never come back. I will not forget. The former camp chairman, Yakub Pam, was there. So I raised my voice. I said, where is your brother? Don't you see Islamic agenda is a war on Plateau because it's a Christian state? Why should we reject our brother? Why should we become Cain to kill our brother? This thing is moving down to the south. God is asking the Yoruba Christians, where is your brother? And the Muslims, where is your brother? We are all Nigerians. We are supposed to protect one another. God is going to ask us, where is our brother? The Muslims in the north, the Fulani. If we have killed them in our mind, God is going to challenge us. Where is the blood of our brother?
Okay, Reverend, I would want to come back to that because, again, there have been speculations that different Christian organizations have been silent since all of this began. But I want us to go on a The stories of insecurity in Nigeria has once again been brought to the fore, and this time the President of the United States has warned that if the federal government of Nigeria does not act fast, there might be a military intervention in the country. But then again, the government has refused to accept that these claims of insecurity are pertaining to a particular religion. They say that insecurity affects every single person, religion or not, and it's not religiously motivated. But this time we have Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo, who has been saying that these killings are religiously motivated, targeted at the Christians. And today he has come with claims and proofs that he says are the things that he sees that makes him talk about this with so much passion. Thank you so much for being here again, sir.
Thank you very much, Mike.
All right, sir. Before the break, you were talking about some of these experiences, some of these killings that you have, you've seen the bodies, you've conducted mass burials. You also shared some accounts of things that happened in Dogonahawa village, and you talked about some things that happened in Yelwa Shandam. Now, one of the examples you gave was the fact that sometimes these attackers come to the churches and kill the men and rape some of the women. And then you also allege that some women are taken to neighboring villages. Run me through some of these experiences, because there have been speculations that since these attacks started, the Islamic groups or Islamic leaders have not really done anything in terms of sanctioning some of these Muslim attackers that have been alleged to attack these people. And it didn't just start in 2021. If we look back in history, we will talk about Deborah Yakubu, who was stoned to death in 2022. We'll also talk about Deaconess Eunice Olawale, who was murdered by alleged Muslim extremists in 2016. So people are saying that if it's not religiously motivated, why are these Islamist leaders not calling to order, or at least enforcing the sanctions and punishment of some of these perpetrators?
In fact, you see, what happened? The real issue here is glaring. There are forces from the Islamic perspective that is being released so that the world will not know that Christians are not killed. But let's look at, to prove to you this is religion. They know. Look at Deborah killing. No cleric of Islam condemn it. The mission of Leah is to show the world that they are in control of Christians. Nobody can do anything. The issue of Muslim ticket, that's a complete genocide to the Christian in Nigeria. And it's all plans towards Islamic people to take over Nigeria. Special advisor on security matters is a position that has become a birthright for Islam. Look at it. A non-cleric, Sheikh Yahya Jingri, came out publicly and said they should stop arresting Fulani. And he's the leader of Izala, the strongest sect in Islam. And all his people are allegiant to what he said. No government condemned him. No single cleric. They were silent about it. The man was boastful. And you will say that this thing is not religion?
Okay, Reverend Dashman, let's talk about the warning that was issued by the President of the United States. regarding a military intervention if the federal government doesn't act fast. Do you think that a U.S. intervention will solve the problem of insecurity, or would it just worsen the already existing issue on ground?
I posted that video, I saw people come out with a lot of experiences, sharing their experiences, years, people that have been victims of all these atrocities, all this genocide, this religious war, genocide, killings in the north. And people were sharing their experiences. I couldn't respond to many, but I was just reading the comments, the ones I could read, and people were just talking about these things. Now, you see, something is that you can silence the truth today. It will speak tomorrow. If you silence it tomorrow, it will speak next tomorrow. If you silence it next tomorrow, it will speak the day after. Now, it doesn't matter how long you silence the truth. One thing you must understand is that the truth will continue to speak. It doesn't matter even if you kill the messenger of the truth. If you kill a messenger of the truth, 1,000 more will respond. They will rise and they will speak. It's just a matter of time. We live in a community, in a society of anyhowness, anyhow things goes. And for years, people have just learned to embrace this thing and just learned to, to live with it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about the pain. Nobody wants to share it. And when the accusations come from the US to say this is what is happening, which we all know is happening, instead of the Nigerian government to accept that this is happening and that they are working tirelessly to stop it, they are working tirelessly to ensure that they put an end to it, they came out to deny that it is not happening. That is the first place where I got angry, because I was a victim. I was involved. As from my childhood, I've been involved. I've seen these things. So for them to come out to say it did not happen, that is why I got angry about it. It did not happen. For what we know has been happening. And they say, no, there is no Christian genocide. No, there is no this, no, there is that. If we do not speak, they will control the narrative. They will continue to tell us it never happened. People that have died for this cause, people that have been killed, children, pregnant women that have been ripped open, their death will mean nothing. They'll say, no, it didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. And everybody will just go along with it. It is time we stop. See, there is a time in life where silence means wisdom. There are times that silence means wisdom. But there are times that silence is dangerous. It is dangerous to be silent. And these are the times where it is dangerous to be silent. Now, people are worried about for me, worried about for my life. People, friends have reached out. Partners in ministry have reached out to say, hope you're doing well. With this thing, they will come for you. They will kill you. But let me let you understand something. I am not married. I don't have a wife to say I'm concerned for my wife. So because of that, I'm not speaking. I don't have a child or I don't have children yet to say I'm concerned for my children. The only thing I have right now in my life is the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's Jesus and Jesus alone, and the assignment he has committed to my hand, and the work I'm doing here. I lived in Port Harcourt until the Lord brought me down here. I lived almost all my life is in the north. And so I don't have any ties to say, who will look after my wife? Who will look after my children? No, I don't have any. What I have now is the gospel of Jesus Christ, which is the truth. It doesn't matter what they want to do. Silence me today, kill me today, arrest me today. I will not stop. I will not be silenced anymore. I will not be silenced anymore. We will not be silenced anymore. If we continue to be silent, the narrative will be controlled. They will twist the whole thing, and they will make us to understand that it never happened. See, killing me now is just a way to reunite you with my Lord as early as quickly. If you kill me today, because either you kill me now, if I died, I could die in the next 5 minutes. If I don't die in the next 5 minutes, I die in the next 1 hour. If I don't die in the next 1 hour, I die in the next 1 day, the next 2 years, the next 5 years, the next 50 years, in the next 60 years. One thing is sure: one day I will still die. So either you are doing it now, or it happens in the future. One day I will still die, and if I die, I will be sure that I die in the truth. So if you want to come and arrest me, if you want to come and kill me, you should hurry up for it. If God permits you to kill me, then it is God that permits you. If I die today, if you kill me today, it is because God permits you. No man can take my life except God permits, because my life is forever hid in Christ Jesus. I am saved. If I die today, it is glory. If I die now, it is in glory. I go to God in glory. I'm not afraid of no one. If the government want to come and take me to some black site to torture me, to kill me, to do whatever it is they want to do for me, to arrest me, to jail me, there is no problem with that. You can come and do whatever you want to do. But what I will not do is that I will not go back to change the narrative. I will not go back and say what I've said is not the truth anymore. I will not say, no, what I've said, I said it at all, or I said it because I was responsible. No, what I said is what the reality is. You see, what I said is not a new truth. This is what everybody knows. It is just the uncomfortable truth, which nobody wants to admit. We people are being careful about, because they don't want to be seen as a bad ex of the society. I love this country. Only once have I ever desired to travel out. I got admission in the US in 2014. And the moment they bounced me at the embassy once, I didn't even bother to try again. I just came back home and continued my life. People say I retry, so I don't have any other place except here. This is why it has to work. We must assure you, because I don't have any ambition. To say maybe one day people have ambitions to live, to Japan, to do all those things, but I don't have any of that. Except for maybe one day, I go for administration abroad and all that. But this is where I have. This is Nigeria we have. We cannot be in a nation where some people find it that it is their right to kill another human being that speaks against their God. Some people feel it is their right to kill another human being. They say it's blasphemy. How do we permit such a law in a secular nation? to say, no, this person has spoken against our Muhammad or against our God, against our Jesus, and he deserves to die. Nobody deserves to die because of another God. Nobody deserves to die because of another God. In Christianity, for me, I would die for the sake of my God, but I will not kill another man for God. I would die for Jesus, but I will never kill another man for Jesus. That is not the mandate of Christ. We die for the gospel, we die for the cause of the cross, but not to kill. So if anybody feels it is a right that they can kill, then we will never move forward. Abolish Sharia. It has no place in Nigerian society. If they want to ensure they keep practicing Sharia, then they should create another country. But we cannot be living in one country. We call it one Nigeria. The concept of one Nigeria. You ask yourself, has Nigeria ever been one? Is there any time Nigeria has ever been one? What we have learned to do over the years is to manage to live with each other. We have only learned to manage to live with each other, to manage to tolerate each other. But Nigeria has never been one. And if this country is going to progress as many of us want it to, as many of us desire it to, then certain barbaric acts have to be put away. This is not an Islamic nation. This is Nigeria. It is not an Islamic nation. Certain barbaric acts have to be put away. We want this country to work. We want it to succeed. Many a time we have travailed in prayer for it. Many a time we have labored to ensure it grows, to ensure it develops. We have all it takes to be a world-class country among the countries of the world. But here we are, penury, poverty, dejection, recklessness. No consequence. People do whatever they like and go with it. Government officials do whatever they like and go with it. Nobody want to talk because you don't want to be said. People know the truth. They say, I don't want to be the one to say it. We know now. We don't want to make it nobody say now. No, we will never succeed that way. I've told you, I've deleted that video simply because of people that I honor and respect so much that spoke to me about it. But what I will not do is to say it didn't happen. No, I experienced it. We saw it. Many people have come out. If you give an opportunity for people now, open a platform for people now to air their experiences in the northern part and all those in the years, they will come out. They will come out in hundreds of thousands and millions to tell you. People that their life have never remained the same. They have not recovered today since Sharia riot. From that moment their life became disorganized till today, they have not recovered. How dare we now say it didn't happen? How dare we now say there is no persecution? I've deleted the video as just to ask me, but let's understand. We cannot continue to be quiet against injustice. We cannot continue to be quiet against the bad things and the evil that is happening in this country. We want Nigeria to succeed. Regardless of who the president is, either from this president or whatever next president, we want Nigeria to succeed. I desire to see a working Nigeria for all, where all men benefit, where all men are carried along. But not where some people think they hold the monopoly of violence. They can keep killing spree in the rate of delusional people that have been brainwashed and with extremism. And they keep going about doing these things. And we're not doing anything reasonable about it. I trust the Nigerian military. I have confidence in them. They accept the fact that many of them are being compromised. If Nigerian military, the military that we know, I schooled in military school, so I know what I'm talking about. If they want to end it within 1 month, they will charge through these people properly. They will charge through them properly and ensure that none of that never rises again. But when we keep going about negotiating with terrorists, negotiating with bandits, taking photo up with bandits, giving bandits press conference to speak, bandits, criminals, in a nation like Nigeria, how do you think we're going to grow? We want to see a working Nigeria. My parents never enjoyed anything about Nigeria. It is my joy that I enjoyed the Nigeria and then leave it for my children. We pray for the president to succeed. We pray for the military men to succeed. But we have to face the truth squarely. We have to face it squarely. No more propaganda here and there. Face it squarely so that we can address it squarely. God bless you. God bless everyone. God bless Nigeria. By the powers of the Holy Spirit and in the name of Jesus, Nigeria will succeed. Nigeria will succeed. Nigeria will excel. If we work together, if we put our heads together, if we stop denying the truth and embrace the truth and walk towards the direction of the truth, only the truth that you know shall set you free. If we do that, we will succeed. But if you say you want to come and kill me because of what I said, because of my video, and you are preparing to rain war on me, the life is one. If I die now, I die in glory. I go to meet my Lord. I have no regret whatsoever. God bless you. God bless everyone. Thank you.
So 1992-93 in Kaduna, a riot broke out which they call the Zango Kataf riot. I was a young boy, very, very young then. And people were killed in scores. If you are not an Afsa person practicing Muslim in Islam, they were killed. Especially if you are from the southern part of Kaduna, the tribes from the southern part of Kaduna, they were massacred. It was called the Zango Kataf riot. And if the next thing they do is to burn churches, kill Christians, and then if they are done with that, then they focus on businesses that is for Igbo people, Igbo-owned businesses, and they destroyed it. I grew up knowing that Christians are an endangered species in Nigeria. In the year 2000, when the Sharia riot, how many of you have heard of the Sharia riot? Hundreds of thousands of people were killed in Kaduna. I can remember vividly that we had to defend our house from people. They brought some Fulani boys and they faced our house. They were shooting arrows. They were stoning our zinc. They spot our zinc, shooting arrows. Even though I was a Muslim then. Even though my father was a Muslim then. But because majority of the people in our compound were Christians, so they were willing to destroy every one of us because we're living with Christians. I can remember a particular church in Mando, for those that know Mando, in Kaduna, called Chapel of Redemption. That church was destroyed. And so from that time, anytime there's a little hanky-panky in Nigeria, the first target is churches and Christians. And this has prevailed for a long time. That even if there's a problem with in another country, the Muslim and the Hausas in Nigeria will rise up and begin to kill Christians. How many of you remember the Miss World crisis in 2002, 2001, 2002? That somebody threw a picture of Muhammad or something in France, long away in France, and they began to fight in Nigeria. Are you following me? Christians are endangered species. Now let me give you, and that's how it has continued. Scores have been killed, and they focus on regions where there is a mixture of both Christianity and Islam. If you look at states like Kaduna, states like Plateau State, states like Nasarawa, states like Taraba, states like Benue, states like Bauchi, states like Gombe, states like Borno. These are places where they focus on because they intend to eliminate every living Christian in that place. Anybody that debunks it is a total lie because I have grown and lived in the north. I've spent 80 to 80% of my life in the north, so I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our lives. Even though we were Muslims, but we're still running because as far as you are not of the ethnic group practicing what they practice, you are a victim. You can be burnt alive. Many of us saw human beings that were burnt alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about that he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi was the one that led him on. And they beheaded him, they killed the Igbo man. They killed him and they put his head on the stake and they were using it to parade the city. You will understand of a woman also that is an evangelist. Evangelist Eunice that was preaching about 2016 or 18 in Abuja. And killed her. We cannot talk about a young girl called Deborah Samuel that was killed. I schooled in Jos, and for years, the people of Plateau have been massacred. Riot breaking out every single time. The world that the moment anything happens, the next people that are victims are Christians. And it is unfortunate that all these years the government have not been able to do anything about it. But the agenda is deep. Are you with me this morning? Why am I saying? Because I don't want us to be an ignorant people. If we are ignorant people, they will control the narrative. And this is, let me tell you the truth. God will not come and fight for you. Remove that thing from your mind. If Christians don't rise up, pray from now till tomorrow. God is not coming to fight for you. Are you with me? Now, in the year 2009, Boko Haram started. Boko Haram started because of a sector. It was a political movement. They created Boko Haram as a political talks to bring confusion into the government of Goodluck Jonathan, and to be able to destroy any opposition, starting from Borno State, under the watch of a man called Kashim Shettima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria. Kashim Shettima and the other man, Ali Mohammed Sharif. These were the people that started the business of Boko Haram as a political talks to be able to oppose their opponents. But after a time, the ideology grew and they began to destroy. Now, it became a problem and they began to use it to destroy, bombing here and there. In 2009, 2010. As of 2010, a man led a meeting in Jos. Are you with me? He led a meeting that they were going to annihilate Christians within the locality of Plateau, Borno, Plateau, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. And he said they are going to perform jihad. They will bring jihad and they will go to kill that. If the Islamic leaders are not willing to lead them, he is ready to lead the movement. I have the minute of that meeting in my phone presently. Guess who is that person? Issa Pantami, that was the former minister of communication under Buhari's regime. And several times, these are people that are terrorist sympathizers. And that is why the Nigerian army have not been able to win the war against the terrorism. Because people have, the terrorists have infiltrated the Nigerian ranks, the army ranks, so they cannot win the war. That said, Osama bin Laden was a better Muslim than he is. He was sad when Osama bin Laden was killed. And he has said it several times that Boko Haram should not be killed. He said they are Muslim brothers. How do you win a war against terrorism? When there are people high in government that are sympathizers to terrorism, how do you win that war? Now, there are 4 categories of insecurity or people that are causing insecurity. Number 1, you have Boko Haram. Number 2, you have bandits. Number 3, you have Fulani herdsmen. Now I'm going to show you how they're connected. Many people don't know. The Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen have one mission. The mission is simple: Islamize Nigeria. Come to a territory that are Christian dominated, kill everybody there, occupy their lands. Go to Benue, look for a community, kill them there, occupy their land. That's always me. Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen. Have you noticed? The Fulani herdsmen they don't kidnap, they kill. There's hardly a place you hear the Fulani herdsmen capture that they say these are Fulani herdsmen. No, when they go, they kill. How do they kill? They kill with guns. You must now ask yourself, how does a Fulani man get AK-47? Do you know the cost of one AK-47? One AK-47 is over $1,000 something. Where will a Fulani man be able to obtain to be able to get one AK-47? Are you with me? And now, so you will know that there are people that are sponsoring this movement. then the Boko Haram and the Fulani, they go about Christian-dominated areas. You will understand that when this terrorism started in Nigeria, that only people that were killed were Christian churches. You will not hear that they kill anyone. It is Christians and churches. I remember in Kaduna then, that churches began to look for security men to guide their churches in every service day. Otherwise, you can be in church and the next day is boom, everybody dies. And churches that don't have money to hire soldiers began to use some of their members. I was a member of the security team in my church in Deeper Life in Kaduna in 2010. Because we don't stay in the church. Once I come to the church in the morning, we stay outside, moving around patrolling, because anybody can come and drop anything. So when Boko Haram started, the majority of Muslims, the Hausa Northern Muslims, they were happy. I know people that were celebrating it. If you see them crying today, I'll tell you why. At the initial beginning of this thing, they were happy celebrating the killings of Christians. They said they are purging Nigeria of army. It was majorly on Christians and Christian-dominated areas. But when it comes to 2014, the man Buhari and APC that wanted to overthrow the government of Jonathan, by all means, decided to employ mercenaries from Niger, from Chad, from all those Fulani, from other African nations where they're Fulani, and they brought them into Nigeria. What was the goal? The goal was that if Jonathan does not concede defeat in the election, they were going to rain hell on Nigeria. So they brought in these mercenaries and they equipped them with rifle, the El-Rufais, the Buharis. Are you with me? The El-Rufais, the Buharis. Every one of these people called APC, they brought in mercenaries and armed them in the bushes and told them to wait. The moment Jonathan did not concede defeat in the election, they were going to start. But unfortunately for them, Goodluck knew of the assignment. He got intel about them because the man said his ambition does not worth the blood of millions. So the man considered defeat and left. And so they declared APC winner. Now, you have already brought people from different parts to come and fight. But what they wanted to come and fight for, they don't achieve anymore. So now they left those people in the bush. They left them with guns and ammunition in the bush. And when Buhari became the president, he abandoned them. Instead of them to settle them and let them go back, they abandoned them. And the people saw Nigeria as a place that is good. And the people decided to remain in Nigeria. Those are the people that started bandits. Before, we don't have anything like bandits. Banditry started under the watch of APC, under Buhari, because they were the ones that brought them in. Kidnapping, because they needed to survive. So they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. Over time, now, you understand that there are certain parts of this nation where there are mineral resources. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Follow me. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Don't be in a nation where you don't have understanding of what is happening. Now, there are some parts of Nigeria where there are good resources. And so, and this is being illegally mined by elites, the military generals, the oligarchs, the people that are the leadership of the North. They were mining these resources, and the money does not go into the federal government account. So what they do is that they employ the services of this banditry to create two things. Number one, to create diversion. So when you go to Zamfara, that's why you hear that they say they're killing in Zamfara now. It's because of the illegal gold mine. There is gold in Zamfara that they're mining. And so these bandits that are already in the bush, some people collaborate with them, partnered with them, and told them to keep creating confusion, create chaos. When you keep creating chaos, the Nigerian state and the people of Nigeria will not be able to focus on the illegal mining. They'll be concerned about the insecurity. So the insecurity is created as a means of diversion in the north. Are you following me? It is created as a means of diverting the attention of the military and the Nigerian populace from being able to focus on the illegal mining of resources. And any part of the north where there is resource, you find out that insecurity there. Recently, it has started in Kwara because there's a great amount of lithium in Kwara too that they have discovered and they're mining. So they partner with the Chinese. Because the people that does this illegal mining are the Chinese. They partner with the Chinese to be able to. So the bandits became the security men of the Chinese and all those people to protect them. So that while they are mining, they can begin to cause chaos. Because while the people are mining and they are causing chaos, kidnapping, nobody will be able to focus on what the Chinese are doing and those people illegal mining. Every single day to this moment, I'm telling you, they are mining in those places. And they will take it to an airfield in the bush and fly it out of Nigeria. They are making billions of dollars from it every day while people are being killed. That is why you now hear that Muslims are saying that they are killing Muslims too. What you have there, it is what Buhari created. The APC level administration created. The banditry they created is what is affecting the North now. Because the people they brought to come and kill Nigeria in 2015 did not succeed because Goodluck relinquished power to them. And now the people have become thugs. They have become tools to be used in the hand of men that are using them to secure their illegal gold mines. And that's why you kill them. That's why you hear that they say they are killing Muslims. Now, the Christian persecution, genocide has been there. So, you find that at the other part, the Muslim and the Fulani men keep going around killing in all those parts, and the Christians and the churches have been silent for too long. This evil has prevailed in Nigeria because the righteous men have been too quiet. If we're ever going to win against insecurity in Nigeria, Nigeria must put two things Nigeria must do. Number one, Sharia law must be completely abolished in Nigeria. Because Nigeria is not an Islamic state. Why will Nigeria, some part of Nigeria, be practicing Sharia? The law guiding them, constitutional law, that believe that if somebody deserves to die because he speaks against his God. Can a Hausa man insult Jesus and I kill him for insulting Jesus? But somebody believes when you speak against Muhammad, you deserve to die. How do you live in a country with somebody that has that kind of mentality? The military have become complicit. They are compromised. Nigerian military cannot win this war. 20 years from today, I'm telling you, 20 years from today, this thing of insecurity will not end because there are people that are enjoying it, benefiting from it, and reaping from it. If Nigeria want to win this war, partner with America. Let them come and militate. How many of you have seen that in Kano yesterday, some people were protesting that they don't want America to come? Because they believe, what they have been told is that if America is coming to kill Muslims, and the man says he wants to come and kill terrorists, but they are protesting. Anybody that is negotiating, people like Ahmed Gumi, Sheikh Gumi should be locked away. A terrorist sympathizer is a terrorist. A man that believes that you are not supposed to kill a terrorist is himself a terrorist. A man that believes that we should go and negotiate. How do you go and negotiate with terrorists? Because you see, terrorists are not just criminals. They are working with a wrong ideology. A man that believes that killing he has nothing to lose. How do you negotiate with a man that believes that killing himself is going to meet their God in heaven to collect 72 virgins? How do you negotiate with such a person? A man like Sheikh Gumi should be locked away. A man like Ali Muhammad Bushari should be arrested. You want to win against terrorism, you must go brutal. No nation win against terrorism by pampering them. The custom is taking rice, seizing rice from Nigeria and taking it to terrorists in the bush that they need to take care of them because they're human beings. No. The moment you have become a terrorist, that you see that taking the life of your fellow human being is nothing, is to please a God, then you don't deserve to live. Children of God, I'm not going to ask you to pray because this is not a period of prayer. This is a period of action. Reverend Dr. Ezekiel from Jos, the man that have been speaking, have created attention. Not for what have they invited the man for interview because they don't want to give the man any airtime. But you see, any little thing they will call Gumi and give him microphone. Gumi, they are inviting Gumi up and down. The media is complicit. The Nigerian military are complicit. You can't win war with this Nigerian army, not because they don't have the capacity, but because they are compromised. Buhari created banditry. The people like Gumi and the rest of them, they are the people that facilitated the idea of Boko Haram. And today, some of them are your leaders in government. Most of them are moving free. Not one have been arrested. Kabiru Sokoto that bombed Nyanyan in 2011. When they rearrested him, guess where they got him? In the house of Shetima in Abuja. What is he doing in the house of Shetima if Shetima doesn't know him? But today, Shetima is your vice president. How do you win a war where terrorists are ruling you? Where terrorists sympathizers are moving around? This is not a period to say we are praying. No! This is a period of wisdom. This is a period of action. Churches in the south have no idea. They sit in their cousin churches with exploit them. They don't know what it means to be in the north. They don't know what it means to be running for your life. That every Sunday in the church in Kaduna, when they finish pray, everybody is praying with one eye open. Because you don't know bomb might go up at any time in the church. The Nigerian church must rise up. There's an agenda. And if you read the minutes of that meeting led by Isa Batami, you will not believe it. I have a recording of his messages. Where's our people? Why would they be killing their people? He said, why would they be killing his Muslim brothers? Referring to Boko Haram as their Muslim brothers. How do you win with such a people in government? And that guy was a minister under Buhari for 8 years. You know what I'm telling you this morning? You are a Nigerian. If you are not aware of what is happening around you, in a short time, one day your calamity will just come. You will not know how.
So guys, there have been a lot of bad spills going on after an ex-military chief came out to say that bandits have invaded Nigeria and they are now making new laws and also they are now collecting taxes. This is an ex-military chief. You know, lamenting terrorists now collect taxes, make laws for northern communities. Can you imagine? These are people that were supposed to eliminate long ago. They kept pampering them, calling them our freedom fighters. Now, Boko Haram is hot in the north. They can no longer hide, you know. Now, let's see some of the reactions. This person says, so terrorists now collect tax in a foreign nation like Nigeria, in a sovereign nation like Nigeria. How we can't continue to deceive ourselves. And this other person says a man who specializes in killing. So this man is said to have once said, if we can imprison Awolowo, kill Ken Asawiwa, murdered Abiola and his wife without Nigeria breaking apart, we are moving to kill nnamdi Kanu and nothing will happen. Abdurrahman Bello Dambazao, a Fulani and Nigerian current minister of Interior, is saying this. You know, this is also a Fulani man. They've really taken over this country, taken over leadership. Can you imagine how a country can easily fall for terrorism? This is so sad, eh? US planning to recolonize our region. At the end, the revolution will start in the north. Northern elites, their imam, politicians, sheikhs, etc. brought this to destabilize our country because of their thirsty for power. Enjoy your demon monster northerners. Oh my God. So this other person here say when the same northerners were romancing with the same bandits, with the same terrorists, they thought they were doing Jonathan and his government. Now look at what they have brought upon themselves. There you see Adamu Garba calling them their freedom fighter, and you see Pantami calling them their brothers. That Boko Haram is their brothers. That they don't deserve to be quiet. And now the thing is breeding in the north. So guys, when did Jonathan even leave power? 2015. So 10 years down the line, you know, the monster they brought in is now there to hurt them. This person says terrorists are now collecting taxes, making laws for northern Nigerian communities. Ex-Army Chief Dambazao, Sahara reporter. This is not just a fact. It is a national tragedy. So guys, you can imagine that an ex-military, the Boko Haram now makes laws for northern Nigeria. That one is even more troublesome. And this one here says, when Trump speaks, they scream sovereignty. But when terrorists seize community, collect taxes, and impose their own laws, they suddenly lose their voices. What sovereignty exists when criminals now govern parts of Nigeria under the shameless failed regime? That's what Nigerians are asking. When Trump is coming, they say, no, Nigeria is a sovereign nation. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. They really like it, you know. This is something we all know about, and we are ready to give them full control of their Arewa 10 states as independent Islamic Sharia country. Then the Biafra people will be free and be able to protect themselves. This person is just saying it should happen. So this person here say, here is all you need to know about these blood-sucking Islamic terrorists collecting tax. This man here, this is an Islamic cleric. He was there saying, if you come to conquer, if you preach Islam to them and they don't accept, collect tax. If they don't accept, buy them. So you can imagine that. And this person here said, but Nigerian soldiers and politicians will come on Twitter and be bragging about sovereignty. Meanwhile, terrorists are collecting tax and making laws. And this way, no Fulani man will rule Nigeria again. President Muhammad Buhari will be the last Fulani man to rule Nigeria. And he was the worst. And he triggered this crisis that is happening today. Buhari really had an agenda. Kai. And this one here say, where was he when these people started? Did he condemn their act? And what effort did he personally put to ensure that it was checkmated while in office? We should all condemn this terrorist group and call for help as a matter of urgency. And this other person say, let us divide this country, for everyone go his separate ways. The northerners already have government. They don't need to draw the rest of the country backward and stagnant. When the southerners talk or cry out about the abnormality happening in the north, they are quick to be on the defensive, claiming the southerners are worse and should mind their business. Can you imagine? And this person here say, because terrorism is now instituted culture in northern Hausa Fulani Muslim region of Nigeria. That's why such impunity and audacity is tolerated and welcomed than to accept U.S. military foot on ground to wipe out the monsters, since Nigerian government and military have failed. And this other person here also reacted, saying, instead of them to support Trump, they are burning American flags. Instead of them to be concerned about terrorists making laws for their communities, they flooded the social media with propaganda campaign. 1914 was a serious mistake. And this person said he was a minister of internal affairs and a former chief of army staff, where terrorists not collecting ransom So guys, the problem in Nigeria is so complicated, and this person said, yet this uncircumcised and idiotic is against the US government intervention via its military action against those Islamic terrorists operating and committing genocidal activities against Nigerian, particularly Christians. Isn't it? He's a failed and shameless ex-soldier. This person here said, if this isn't enough reason to say Nigeria is a country of serious concern, then I wonder what those shouting sovereignty up and down, where the US cannot come and help you end terrorism, because in your proud mind Nigeria is a sovereign state, yet foreign terrorists can seize your country and even collect taxes. Do you know the level of temerity it would take for a group of foreign terrorists to not just reside in your country but start collecting tax? That's a very powerful question. Do you know what it takes? Do you know what it means for these guys to just come from nowhere and they are collecting taxes? And this person say, I thought they are freedom fighters. Have they forgotten their freedom and now establishing a new government? After committing treason, government will use taxpayers' money to care for them and their families in the name of repentant Boko Haram. What kind of country is this? And this person say, all of you, the northern elites, leaders, abysmal failure. You failed your people, failed your religion, failed your faith, failed oath of office, failed Nigeria. That you failed Nigeria. Shameless leaders, always discussing problem but never implementing any solution. They will continue to meet for years and its insecurity will continue until they make up and take tough decision. Until they man up and take tough decision. Give people the right to bear arms. Let everybody have a gun. Chase Fulani herdsmen away from all forests, set up ranches for them in their home states, bring your cows in trucks to sell everywhere, go into the forest and eliminate all the terrorists there. I think that's what this guy said, and it makes a lot of sense, you know. Just establish their ranches for them in their home state. If they want to sell cow, they should come. They should stay in the north, not come into the south. He was chief of army staff and refused to fight against Islamic terrorists. He said they were his brothers and he frustrated Jonathan to win the war. Immediately it broke out. He then joined the APC. God, this is sad, Jehovah. He joined the APC. You see these military chiefs, they are all politicians. If it's other tribe, the government will not waste time to fight them. But since it's northern side, the government went silent because it's them family business. And I'm 120% there, and I'm 120% they are full. And I thank God it's an ex-chief, a chief of defense saying it. They have started their true federalism against those quoting English of rule of law, constitutional amendment, will adopting regional government restore peace than bullet and bombs in Nigeria? Are those communities paying taxes in terrorists in peace? National debate arises. So guys, I'm going to stop here, but let me know your thought on all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.